If you're even thinking about moving to Michigan, you need to chill out and watch this video before making that move. If you're new here, my name's Paul, and I have the unique experience of helping a ton of people like you make the move to Michigan. So if there's something weird about the state of Michigan, I have probably heard about it from living here and from other people that are moving here. If you live in Michigan now and I missed something, absolutely leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it, and I'm sure other people would love to hear about it. All right, so let's start out with the pros of living in Michigan. The first pro is going to be the drive times or the traffic. Traffic is actually not very bad here. Whatever crazy traffic you're used to in whatever state you live in, it's nothing like that here in Michigan. And because of that, you're able to live further away from wherever you're going to work. That's one thing that a lot of people have to take into consideration when they're moving here from states like California, where they say, well, I want my drive time to be less than an hour. And less than an hour, it's totally different here. You're able to keep your drive times lower than a 6'4" Impala. That means low, very low. What sucks about a lot of those other states is the drive times are long and it's not even very far. It's just bumper to bumper. It's not like that here. An hour drive is a legit hour drive. You're driving for an hour. There are times when we have a lot of construction here in Michigan and drive times will be slightly longer, but it's not like that all the time. I can imagine sitting in my car for an hour to go somewhere that's right down the street. That's nuts. Here it's common. I hear it's a very common thing in other states. Pro number 2 is the home variety here in Michigan. If there is a style of home in whatever state you live in, there's a pretty good chance we have the same ones here. Maybe not a lot of stucco. We don't have a lot of stucco here, but it does exist. It's kind of weird to see, but it exists. It's something for everybody. There are certain cities that have a little bit more of one thing than another. If you're looking for anything in particular, you should absolutely reach out to a real estate agent or something to help you find the right spot for you. Bungalows, ranches, colonials, mid-century, modern, new construction, you name it, we've got it. But what we don't have here are the massive master plan communities like you have in places like Texas. A mile of homes and a pool and playgrounds. Those sort of things don't really exist. They exist on a much smaller scale here. If you do want a new home in a new community, reach out, I can help you. It's not gonna be a massive community, it's just gonna be like a smaller one. Pro number 3 about living in Michigan, the basements. Weird thing to say. Like I've lived here forever, so I'm pretty used to having a basement, but if you're buying a house in Michigan, there is a 90% chance it'll have a basement. If it doesn't have a basement, you need to think again. Probably find a house with a basement. I'm always amazed by the people that I meet who have never been in a basement. You know, they'll move here from places like Texas and they say, well, I've never been in a basement. Blows my mind. If you've never had a basement or been in a basement, you do want one. It'll change your life. It's a life-changing piece of real estate. So much room for activities and storage. Jump around down there, bedroom, bathroom, bar, gym. I've seen it all. Golf simulators. I've even seen houses with pools in the basement. Hot tubs. Let your imagination go crazy here in Michigan. Put something nuts down there. Invite me over. I'd love to check it out. Pro number 4 about living in Michigan, the water. There's so much water here. It's everywhere. And a lot of it looks like the Caribbean. Probably don't know that if you're not from Michigan, but if you look at Higgins Lake or Torch Lake, it's ridiculous. White sand and crystal clear blue water. It's wild. It's amazing. Real estate in areas like that is a little bit expensive, but if you'd like to buy a place there, let me know. I have contacts there too. Well connected to the state of Michigan. Buy a house in Metro Detroit, Michigan, and then have another one, Torch Lake, Higgins Lake, would be like a few hours away. Best of both worlds. Close to a city, close to like what looks like the ocean. I swear, if I get some comments on this video like, it's not the ocean. I know it's not the ocean. I know it's Michigan. I'm just saying, it's nice. It's better than spending $1 million and just living in California and just having a view of dirt. And I know the weather's better there. I don't need to hear that. Pro number 5 is the low cost of living. Low. How low can you go? Pretty low. It's just cheap to live in Michigan. In a recent study, Michigan actually ranked as the 14th cheapest state in the US to live in. They were looking at everything including groceries, housing, utilities, transportation, even healthcare. It's all cheaper here. Cheap seats. Ironically, the states and cities with the highest cost of living are the ones that I see the most buyers moving from to Michigan. California, DC, New York, Arizona are all some of the biggest senders. Is that the right word for that? If you're relocating from any of those areas, there's a good chance you're gonna find my videos, because I don't know, you just gravitate towards me. Let me know in the comments where you live and if you would consider Michigan. I always love hearing that. Like, people always comment like, I would never leave. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. Just telling you. All right, now for the cons. Con number one, the snow. I have to put the snow in here. You can't make a list about the pros and cons of Michigan without talking about the snow. And it's not just the quantity of the snow, it's when we're getting the snow. This past March, we had 70-degree days when I could actually take the top off my cool car, followed by some of the worst snow I've seen all year. All year. It was terrible. It even snowed on the first day of spring. So that was a little depressing. Didn't expect that to happen, but it's Michigan. Expect the unexpected. It is the middle of December and it's 50 degrees out. It's warm. I'm actually still driving this car because there's no salt on the roads. There's no snow on the roads. It's perfect out here. I'm still wearing a big jacket just in case. It could snow at any time. Michigan weather, keep you on your toes. I should probably mention that Michigan does not shut down for snowstorms like that. I think that's one of the biggest surprises to people that are moving here from areas like Texas, where they say, well, everything shuts down when it's, it does not shut down here at all. We just keep on moving, keep on trucking. Business as usual. So I hope you can work remotely if you don't want to drive, because there's a good chance your boss is gonna say, come on in, it's fine. By the end of the day, the roads will be clear. It doesn't matter, you still have to drive in it right now. I mean, you can see I drive in it all the time. Still out there showing houses. Con number two is public transportation, or the lack of solid public transportation. If you're moving to Michigan, you have to at least have one car, if not two. Why not buy three? There are no subways or anything to take you from the burbs to the cities. They just don't exist. Every time I mention this, somebody comments, you can take the bus. Oh yeah, sure, take the bus. Remember what I said about the snow? You're gonna be walking in it. You're gonna go to the grocery store, just have bags of groceries and things with your baguette, popping out of your bag of groceries, trucking through the snow. It doesn't sound fun. People that I help move to Michigan that initially start out by saying that they're either going to not have a car or have one car, almost always end up buying one or more cars. Just always happens. It just makes sense to have a car because the roads are really well laid out here, so it's super easy to get from one city to another. There are some exceptions to that. There are some suburbs that are just harder to get to than others, and you should figure all that out before you move here. But for the most part, it's really easy to get anywhere in the Metro Detroit area, or really all around the state of Michigan. All right, con number three. Fences, or the lack of fences. This is one that I hear all the time, and it's one of the biggest surprises to people that are moving here from other states. Most newer subdivisions do not allow fencing. It's not a state rule or anything like that. It's more of an HOA thing, but fences are just really not a thing. For whatever reason, Michiganders like to see their neighbors' yards. I don't know why. A fenced-in yard is near the top of the wish list for just about everybody that I help move to Michigan. And I'm usually the bearer of bad news who says, it's probably not gonna happen. The exception to this is in cities that were developed prior to the 60s. So a lot of the neighborhoods in the Woodward Corridor, places like Royal Oak, Berkeley, Birmingham, a lot of those, you can have fences there. Not all of them, or some. It's the newer places that don't really allow. One day someone just said, no more fences in Michigan. We're done with them. You're moving to Michigan, you absolutely have to have a place with a fence. Reach out, I'll tell you where to go. Con number four, no ADUs. If you're from Michigan, you're probably wondering what an ADU is. And that is my point. Before helping a ton of relocation buyers move here, I didn't even know that this was really a thing. An AUD is an accessory dwelling unit, or basically a tiny home that's on your property. So like if you have an in-law or an adult child that you would like to live in your backyard, you'd pop one of these places up. I know if I'm explaining this to you and you don't live in Michigan, you're probably like, oh yeah, I know. We have those all over the place. They're just not really a thing here. And 99.9999% of associations won't even allow them at all. So if you're moving to Michigan and you would like an ADU in your backyard or front yard or whatever part of your yard, you should probably make sure that you're buying a home on a large chunk of land outside of an association. And plan on being here for a very long time, because when you go to sell that place, there are not a lot of people looking for homes with ADUs. Put pool in front of it or behind it, and you call it a pool house? That's cool. I'm down with that. I'll come hang out in your ADU with you. Con number 5, it's expensive to live in Michigan. Even though we already discussed the low cost of living in Michigan, the truth is it is expensive to live in any of the top places to live in Michigan. $500,000 to $1 million does not go as far as you'd think, and that is one of the biggest shocks to people that are moving here from other states. If you'd like to see that list of the top places to live in Michigan, what types of homes are there, and how I feel about each and every one of them, I actually made a video all about them, and you can check it out on my channel here, and I'll see you there.